Dripping out here with the jacket, you feel me? Shout out to Chonkline Official. Alright guys, what's going on? I got another special video for you guys today. Today, I'm going to do my top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time with a bunch of other people who were nice enough to send me their videos of their top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. Special collab video for you guys. WrestleMania is 2 days away, so I thought it was only appropriate that we do something special for WrestleMania. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time first, and then we'll get into everybody else. So let's start off with number 3. I gotta go with Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21, which is my favorite WrestleMania, by the way. I loved everything about this match, especially the end. It seemed like Kurt Angle had Shawn Michaels in the ankle lock like forever. I mean, everything about this match was great. This was back in 2005. You had Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, 2 of the best wrestlers in the world at the time. Shawn Michaels was without a doubt the best in-ring performer. Kurt Angle was one of my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. I rooted for Kurt Angle in this match, by the way, to win, and he got the dub. So this was a spectacular match. This match, when they announced this match, it was only bound to be great. So it definitely lived up to every expectation and potential. That's number 3 on my list. At number 2 is a match that a lot of people don't talk about as being one of the best WrestleMania matches or one of their favorites. And I don't really understand that because I really like this match a lot. I gotta go with Undertaker versus Triple H, WrestleMania 28, the Hell in a Cell end of an era match. I love the story behind this. I love the build up to it. I love Shawn Michaels being involved as the referee. I loved, when Shawn hit Taker with the super kick and Triple H hit him with the pedigree and he kicked out, and I can still hear those chair shots when Triple H was beating the hell out of Undertaker with that chair in that ring. Undertaker shaving his head, which was crazy. I loved everything about this match, man. This was a WrestleMania classic, if you ask me. A lot of people don't mention this match or talk about it as being one of their favorites or as a WrestleMania classic, but I think this is a match that will be remembered forever, especially at the end, when all 3 guys standing up on the top of the ramp, having that moment. I love that match. That's number 2 on my list. And number 1, without a doubt, the greatest match in WrestleMania history, in my opinion, and I think 90% of wrestling fans will agree with me. Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 25. 26 was great too, but 25, man, was just special. That match was absolutely spectacular. Everything about that match is just phenomenal. I mean, if you haven't seen that match, then something's wrong with you. I mean, that match is so good from start to finish. From the build-up, it was great, and then the in-ring stuff they did was just absolutely spectacular, man. So that's the greatest match in WrestleMania history, if you ask me. I love that match. But that's my top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. Let's get into everybody else, shall we? Alright guys, so the first guy I got coming up for you guys all the way across the country, all the way in England. He does a lot of great stuff on YouTube, a lot of stuff on Twitter, man. This guy's great. His name is Omega Luke. Here's his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time.
Hey guys, Omega Luke here, present and future. So, we thought we would give both of our picks for the 3 favourite matches of ours for WrestleMania together. Yes, and apparently I am not allowed to choose Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano from WrestleMania 37 for the WWE title because it hasn't actually happened yet.
Here we go again.
Okay, so my first match is going to be The Rock versus Stone Cold at WrestleMania 15. Arguably 2 of the biggest wrestlers of all time headlining WrestleMania for the first time for the title, and what an occasion that was. Unfortunately for me, as a big Rock fan, the guy lost, but I remember as a kid being so excited for this match, and I must have watched it over 20 times. I just love it. Okay, my turn now. So my favourite is actually more of a nostalgic. 3, 2, 1. Okay, my turn now. So my favourite is actually more of a nostalgic match, and that is the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12 between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. The whole build up to this match was incredible. The promo package always gives me goosebumps. It was an event I had on VHS as a kid, and I watched it so many times. The match itself was very boring at times, but the result at the final 5 minutes and then the overtime just made it all worthwhile and worth the wait. Brilliant storytelling. Now, my all-time favourite match has to be the Tag Team TLC match at WrestleMania 17, I believe. Not only was it the most entertaining match we've ever seen at WrestleMania, easily, but the spots were insane. Edge, obviously synonymous with spearing Jeff Hardy off the hanging off the title belt. The force through the tables, the concerto shots. Incredible risks from these guys just made it the best WrestleMania match of all time, in my opinion. So thank you very much, Malik, for letting me be a part of this. Hope everyone enjoys WrestleMania this weekend, the whole weekend. Enjoy every show, enjoy all the shows you can get to. Make sure you check out me, Omega Luke Wrestling Podcast, and Omega Luke YouTube for plenty more, and give me a little subscribe. Thank you very much, everyone. Goodbye.
Got another good friend of mine that I do plenty of collabs with. I'm talking about at the Mounties Corner. Go subscribe to his channel, show him some love. Here's his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. Rip him.
Welcome back to Narcolepsy's channel. I'm your guest at the Mountie. So here's the deal. Malik reached out to me and says, Mountie, I need your top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time. Dude, all time? This is not an easy thing for me to do. But I'm going to try my best. In no particular order, I'm going to give you my top 3. Number 1, Owen Hart versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 10.
These two superstars told that story for over a year in this year-long build. I loved every second of it, especially Owen going over clean at the end. This is a technical prowess I've never seen before.
Wasn't that a classic? I mean, seriously. I can't think of a better opening match in WrestleMania history. And I'm being serious with that, guys. Number 2, we're going to be going with Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 10. The ladder match for the undisputed Intercontinental Championship.
Arguably one of the matches of the night as well was Razor Ramon taking on Shawn Michaels, coming out with Diesel, who eventually got ejected from ringside. These guys look good. They executed perfectly, in my opinion. The stage was set. Oh, the back and forth. The ladder, there's only one ladder in this whole damn thing. Can you imagine? They pulled this all off with one ladder and nothing went wrong. And everything about this match was just perfect, in my opinion. The time period, these two guys were at the top of their game, and they had fans on the edge of their seat in a very difficult match in the card.
A beautiful ladder match, one for the ages, probably because it was really innovative at the time. We didn't see a lot of those moves. First time ladder match as well, like televised on a pay-per-view. So honestly, I thought it was spectacular. Going into number 3, we have Shawn Michaels again, except this time, WrestleMania 26 versus The Undertaker!
Where do I start with this one? The running up the hill promo, the back and forth storytelling. I mean, this had everything in a match that you can want. The build was fantastic. Was Shawn Michaels finally going to get his retribution on The Undertaker? Was Taker's time done? Was Shawn Michaels the one to end the streak? All these questions ran on through my head as a fan. I loved everything about these two legends putting on that show for us.
So there you have it, guys. Those are my top 3. I mean, it's hard to come up with a list like that, man. I'm sure I'm missing out like 20 of them, but those 3 always stuck out to me, and I can like watch those 100 times over and I'll never be bored. That's just my opinion. That's just who I am. So hopefully you let Malik know what your top 3 is. Thanks a lot, Malik, for having me on your channel. Enjoy WrestleMania, fellas. I'm the Mountie and I always get my views.
Alright, next, I got my man, Kiron Chase. You already know who that is. He's been on my channel tons of times. Here's his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time.
My top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time. Number 3, Stone Cold vs. Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. It's everything a wrestling fan would want. Hardcore wrestling, technical wrestling, great storytelling. If you're a hardcore fan, a new school fan, an old school fan, you'll like it. It executes a perfect double turn. And it turns Stone Cold into who will eventually become arguably the biggest star in WWE history. Number 2, the WrestleMania 20 main event. perfect type of triple threat matches are those that can tell a story, has great action, and has three guys that know what they're doing in the ring, and all three can carry a match. The emotion, especially with Benoit winning, especially after he won with Eddie Guerrero, still my personal favorite WrestleMania moment. And my number one favorite WrestleMania match is obviously Shawn Michaels vs. The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. I mean, you get probably the two performers that is most synonymous with WrestleMania on the stage. It's a beautifully directed match also. Much as especially the facial expressions both men had during kickouts and things like that told a great story. And it has great action. Definitely, to me, those are my three favorite WrestleMania matches.
Next, I got a good friend of mine, Christian McClendon, who was on my channel last week. He's brand new to podcast and YouTube and stuff. So here's his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. Make sure you guys go check out his stuff too.
What's going on, guys? My name is Christian McClendon. I'm here today to talk about WWE, my favorite WrestleMania matches. To start off, I'd say that one of them is from WrestleMania 20. It was when Chris Benoit beat Shawn Michaels and Triple H in a triple threat match, and that was for the World Heavyweight Championship. I love that storyline of, Benoit kind of being the underdog and whatnot, and being the great performer and wrestler that he is, and him coming out on top and making Triple H tap. That was just amazing to watch for me. My second one would be WrestleMania 25 when Shawn Michaels and Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker went at it. And that was an excellent match. And then my third, I'd say it'd be from WrestleMania 21. It was Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels. I thought that Shawn Michaels would, pull away with the victory and whatnot, but he didn't. Kurt Angle made him tap out, and that was just an excellent match overall. It was really a really good one, and one thing that I kind of want to bring up is my sports podcast that I have myself. It's called Chalk Talk Podcast, and like I said, it's a sports podcast, and we've had a few episodes out already where we talked about some college basketball, we talked about some wrestling, and then the NFL and NBA as well. And then there will be much more episodes coming out as the seasons go along and whatnot. So feel free to give us a view on our YouTube page. It's Chalk Talk Podcast, and subscribe to our page, give us some likes, some shares. It'd be greatly appreciated, guys. And thank you.
Next, I got another good friend of mine, actually my cousin. His name's Key. He doesn't have a YouTube channel or anything, but he was kind enough to do his video of his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. So here goes Key's top 3.
My top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time. Well, I guess I start at number 3 would be the Triangle TLC match at WrestleMania 17. I like that one because I never seen nothing like that before. It was a lot of hard hitting, high flying, and people going through tables, which I love. Number 2 will probably be Austin versus Rock at WrestleMania 17. I would say 19 because they both got good storytelling, but I'm about to go with 17 because it's when Stone Cold and The Rock was both at their peak. They was both faces, which was pretty cool. Didn't know who was going to win, who was going to be on top. It was a great match. And it was a nice swerve when Stone Cold joined forces with Vince McMahon at the end. Number 1 match would probably be Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker. Either 25 or 26, it really doesn't matter. They both is great. Hard back and forth fighting, great storytelling. I really thought Shawn Michaels should have won at least 26 at least, but he wanted to retire on his own terms, which I understand. But he went out with a bang. And that is my top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time.
All right, next, I got a very special guest from the Ruthless Aggression podcast. Never done anything with him before, but he was kind enough to do his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches for my video. So here's the Ruthless Aggression podcast. Here's his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time.
Hey guys, this is Levi of the Ruthless Aggression podcast, here to give you my top 3 WrestleMania matches. First one being from WrestleMania 20, The Undertaker versus Kane. The Undertaker made his big return as the Dead Man. Definitely one of our favorites of the RA era. Second being from the same pay-per-view, Chris Benoit, Triple H, Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight title, where Benoit finally made it to the top of the mountain as the world champion. And third comes from WrestleMania 30, where Daniel Bryan beat Batista and Randy Orton in a triple threat match for the WWE title. Thanks guys. Catch us on Ruthless Aggression podcast.
Alright, next up, guys, I got a man who hasn't been on my channel in a while, but he's familiar with the channel because he's been on here before. I'm talking about Broken Empire. He's going to give you guys his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time.
Yo, what's up everybody? Thanks to my dog Malik for having me on this video. So, my top 3 WrestleMania matches. Let's see. Okay, number 3 would probably have to be, just for what happened at the end, I'm going to go with WrestleMania 31, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, that eventually turned into a triple threat when Seth Rollins decided to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase. And then he ended up winning, and it shocked everyone, and it was a great moment. Seth Rollins, the ultimate heel back then, it was pretty amazing, and that has to be in my top 3 for sure. And actually, I was actually enjoying Roman versus Brock before Seth cashed in anyways, and then when he cashed in, the place just went unglued. And then number 2 would probably have to be the Hardys versus the Dudleys versus Edge and Christian in a ladder match at WrestleMania 17. It was iconic. The spear that Edge had on Jeff Hardy from the top of the ladder while he was hanging on the briefcase, that shot is iconic, and I don't know if they're ever gonna top that spot in a ladder match. It was really just straight up iconic. And then number 1 would probably have to be John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 28. Because that was the first WrestleMania I actually watched, so that was my first WrestleMania main event, and the hype around that match was just unreal. I was like a little kid, so kayfabe still existed and shit, so I was like a hardcore John Cena fan, and going into this, I mean, it was just amazing. Like, the whole year build-up, it was insane. And then, of course, I was really mad when John Cena lost because I was just a kid, but it was amazing. And that has to be my number 1. So, thank you, Malik, for letting me be on this video. Broken Empire, you guys have been deleted.
Right, next. And this jacket is dripping in. Next, I got another good friend of mine who I do a lot of stuff with on my channel and his channel. I'm talking about my man, Steve. He was kind enough to send me his video of his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. Here goes Steve.
From the Rambo, my friend Malik asked me to share my top 3 WrestleMania matches of all time, and they are as follows in this order. At number 3, I have Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13. Austin not giving up, not even tapping out, sharpshooter applied, blood over space, dripping down space, that iconic shot, that iconic picturesque moment, and him just passing out. He didn't win the title, but I think from that night he became a main man, a top guy, so to speak, in WWE. My number 2 match their WrestleMania matches of all time, in my opinion, is Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 10 ladder match. Shawn Michaels, leaving WWE, taking the Intercontinental Championship with him, while we have Razor Ramon, winning a tournament to then win the IC title. Shawn Michaels comes back with the championship. So we have two Intercontinental, that's why we had two Intercontinental titles hoisted to the rafters that evening in the iconic ladder match. Best ladder match of all time, in my opinion, let alone with my top three at WrestleMania matches. And at number 1, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. Austin turning heel, lining with the evil Mr. McMahon, those epic chair shots, and that music that was used during the promo package for that match as well. So that's my top 3. Don't forget, Stevie K says, above all else, as always, take care, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Malik's channel. You won't regret it.
Next, I told you I got a lot of people in this video, man. It's gonna be live. Next, I got my man from the Everything Pro Wrestling Podcast, my man Conrad Cushman. He's gonna give you guys his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. Here we go.
What's happening, wrestling community? It's Conrad Cushman from the Everything Pro Wrestling Podcast. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, wait for it, for the fans. And I am now going to be featured on Brainbuster Radios on Saturday, so make sure you guys type it in and subscribe. Now, we are here to talk about my 3 favorite WrestleMania matches. Well, number 1 easily has to be the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania 25. We had 2 epic characters clashing in what was a so-so WrestleMania. I wouldn't even say so-so. But this match has all of the epic kickouts, clashes, the fan reactions. It has everything. And I think it's a match that is one of the greatest in WrestleMania history, personally. The second match is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Bret the Hitman Hart in an I Quit match at WrestleMania 13. This match told a story. The story was that Bret the Hitman Hart, the once beloved babyface, ends up turning heel, while Stone Cold Steve Austin took enough punishment to win the love and appreciation of the fans. It has great moments in it, a really brutal spot with a chair, and also Stone Cold Steve Austin with all of the blood coming down his face really makes for something special. And last but not least, let's not forget Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man Randy Savage for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 3. So many great people involved in this, from Miss Elizabeth, George the Animal Steel, but the real story was the match told in the ring. It changed the way that people lay out their matches, lots of near falls, and changed the game for wrestling forever. Thank you so much for having me on your channel, Malik. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button.
Alright, and last but not least, I got my man, MFLG Mark Rambo, who I do probably more stuff with than anybody else for wrestling stuff. Here go his top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. And make sure you guys go check out his vlog for WrestleMania this Sunday.
What's going on? It's your boy MFLG Mark Rambo, and my top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches. I don't even know. Oh, actually, yes, I do have my 3. 1 is Rock versus Hogan. That match alone was like dope. I mean, I think personally my favorite part of the match was when Hulk started hulking up and started eating the punches like vintage Hulk Hogan would. But instead he was Hollywood Hogan. And Hollywood Hogan, you know, he was air guitar, kind of arrogant, cocky. And that kind of brought like a paid homage pretty much to old Hogan and how he used to act, and then just the build up to the match in itself. I could watch that right now and still be like, damn, like that was a good ass match. Like everything about it was just so fun. It was so entertaining to watch. Another match that I would have to say is Rock versus Cena. Rock versus Cena, the first one, not the one in MetLife Stadium, the one in Miami. I think it was WrestleMania 28. I believe that match was unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. I loved it so much. Like, you guys have no idea. The crowd, the atmosphere, everything about it that set the tone for a WrestleMania main event. And then to top that, building up to that WrestleMania main event, they were legitimately going at each other like they actually hated each other. And if I'm correct, I think they did kind of had a little beef with one another. But it was so cool to watch. At the time, I wanted John Cena to win, but, you know, obviously that didn't happen. Plus, The Rock was in his hometown, so it's like, okay. But overall, that match was just excellent. I could still watch that match too and then thoroughly enjoy it. And then the third match, I would have to say, it might not be for everybody else, but I really appreciated it. Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it was WrestleMania WrestleMania 19, I believe. I think it's WrestleMania 19. If I'm correct, it might be 19. That match. I feel like everybody knows that match from the Shooting Star Press. I thought from the technicality of the match with Kurt Angle and Brock and how they're both actually amateur wrestlers, it was pretty dope. And then the stipulations that Kurt had to fight with as well, if he gets counted out or if he gets disqualified. I forgot what the thing was. He would lose the championship or something like that. But that match was I love Kurt Angle. He's in my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. Up there with Eddie Guerrero, up there with a whole bunch of other people. But that match was so cool, bro. It may not be up there in regards to me watching it consistently and be like having the same feeling, but it's most definitely up there. So those are my 3 favorites. I don't know about everybody else. That third one's kind of iffy for some people. I'm sure the first 2 are fine, especially with Hogan and Rock. But those are my 2 favorites. They're my 3 favorites. But yeah, hope you guys agree. If not, then oh well.
All right, guys, that is a wrap. I appreciate everybody who was in this video who took the time to make their video and give us their top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, and leave your comments below. Let me know your top 3 favorite WrestleMania matches of all time. And make sure you guys go watch WrestleMania this Sunday. It's going to be a long-ass show, but hey, it's WrestleMania. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you subscribe. Go check out their other channels. Peace.